even as someone that, became a registered dietitian, spent years in school studying nutrition, I mean, I ended that program very confused about nutrition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I always like to share that because I think it's helpful to know, like, everybody kind of feels this way with nutrition. Like, you have to do some experimenting, and you also have to do some critical thinking for yourself. It's not enough to say, oh, the experts in this space say this is how I should eat. So I'm sure we'll get into that a lot, but the nutrition piece is a big issue and has led to like rampant fertility decline. The lifestyle that we largely lead in this country is not how humans are supposed to live. We have so much stress. We're not outside. We're hunched up behind a computer screen under fluorescent lights all day. We're like breathing shallow into the chest. We don't connect with humans in person as often as we should. And when we look at optimal fertility and hormone health, that comes from a body that feels safe. And we have to look at food, we have to look at lifestyle, and we have to look at, thoughts and beliefs as part of that too.
Yeah, I feel like you can't signal to the body that it's a safe environment to recreate life if you're living in scarcity, right?
Absolutely.
And what you said, I think it's a Jung quote. He says something along the lines of, too much domestication of the animal will make it sick. And you look at animals in zoos and they're alive, but they're not necessarily thriving.
Right.
And you would say that hormonal health and the ability to get pregnant naturally is an aspect of thriving and being able to, carry that full term and give birth and all of those things. So what I wanted to touch on, because you did, and I think it's wonderful, is this idea of continuing your education, not just saying, okay, I'm an Addy now, I've made it, because we know that not all Addies are created equal. Like, not all doctors are created equal. Not all people's capacity to continue learning or critically think and then run the experiment for themselves, because I've seen some pretty shocking advice from registered dietitians. And then I've seen some ones that are like stellar in their advice, like yourself. So what's going on there? Is it just that is it the education kind of broken and it is requiring you to just continue that path and self-investigate? And what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to like even early school, like elementary years, and kind of how we're losing the ability to critically think and losing the ability to think for ourselves, really. We go to school and we're taught information and we have to recite that information on a test. That's, the standard for the state. And then we go to college and we keep doing the same. So I didn't leave school thinking like I could really think for myself, but I was really good at recalling what I was taught.
Yeah, right.
And I think that that's a lot of us. And so that's a systemic problem. It's not just, the RD schooling or MD schooling, but with nutrition specifically, we all eat. We have to eat every day. So relegating the responsibility of learning about that to just a select few doesn't make any sense. Like, we all have to learn how to do this. So I think normalizing the experimentation is a big thing that we do with clients. And I think we can get really rigid with nutrition and it almost becomes like a religion. And then we're completely disconnected from what feels good to us. So knowing like, hey, you can gather information, you can consult with experts, and then you got to try some stuff on. You got to see what feels good. And then you keep what works, you let go of what doesn't, and stay fluid with it. And I know it was hard for me to let go of some of the stuff I was taught. There's a lot of unlearning going on and kind of belief systems shattered on that healing journey. But that's freedom, right? When you can make these decisions for yourself.
Hello friends, if you enjoyed that clip, then you can watch the entire thing by heading to this link over here, or you can find us wherever you find podcasts by searching Radical Health Radio. If there's value here, please hit that like button, let us know in a comment what your biggest takeaway was, and hit subscribe. Support the show as we support you. We'll see you soon.